Good evening, sir. Welcome to Curious Times special edition for Children's Day. We are really delighted to have you from the Bachpan group talk to the children on this special day.
Hi, thank you, Dipti. Thank you, Curious Times. Wonderful to be on any platform where my kids are there. I'm missing my kids. Past 18 months, we are not able to see them. But at least with this platform, we'll be able to connect so many students. So absolutely my pleasure to be on this platform and love to be here and to answer everything which is there.
Yes, sir. So, sir, like we always keep doing programs which are centered around children, and Children's Day is special for Curious Times also, I'm sure, as much as it is for all the schools and school leaders. The conversation today that we are going to focus on is every child is special. The UN's Children's Day falls on the 20th of November, and India's Children's Day is on the 14th of November. And while it is to celebrate the birthday of our former Prime Minister in India, in the UN, it is more focused around the equality in the equities in terms of education, safety, health, right to education for children. When we are talking about all this, and we are also in India, also as more and more focus is going into all this, it's important that to understand that while at government or policy level, we are creating new education policies, we are coming up with new curricula, etc. The important part of it also sits with the fact that we do not that we keep a special space for every kind of every individual and every child and every kind of stream and curricula that we are focusing on. So over the years we've seen that there is some set of courses or programs that get importance, and then there are other children who have really different talent that gets that does not get reflected. So I think every child is special is one towards saying that this equity can only be created if we as a society start appreciating all the talents, or we start appreciating each and every child's inherent potential. So I mean, giving a example, like somebody in my classroom was not academically so great, right? And right now he's done very good for himself, significantly in the real estate space. So it doesn't mean that he was lesser than me in any sense, but I think our parameters to measure would have been very different. So the conversation is like, is there a space for everybody? And the narrative that every child is special. So that's the context that we are sort of discussing. I'm sure just before the recording we started, I tried to understand Bachpan and your perspective around it, but I'll still like to hear a few more words. And basically, if you could also give, because it's being watched by children, could also give some examples of things you saw around and how you actually you actually believe in that because you have actually seen live examples of all of this.
Great question. And again, ma'am, like as you started, for me, every child is a born star. Why I'm saying a born star? Every child is special. There's no doubt about it. We, you, me, everybody has kids, and we can see our kids around. Just to go with the example, I'll go in detail in that. I have two daughters, uh, 11 years and 8 years. Both of them are not academically great. It sounds quite weird to say, though I'm into academics, we're an educator, and my child are not that great. They are a 75-80% kind of child, very honestly. They are even not 90%. And I never push them to go for 90%. Reason being, I know their caliber. They are not academically great, but they are good in arts, they are good in public speaking, they are good in sports, they are good in something like that. So for me, I need to cultivate those best things which they already have. Look, God has created so many good. God has created everybody, and everybody, somebody has good features, somebody has good nose, somebody has good ears, Same way, why as a parent would expect every child should do academics? Why I'm saying academics? Because it's a common problem which is coming to us again and again. And believe me, I'm talking about mothers and fathers of like 2-year-old child, 3-year-old child. Sir, my child doesn't know how to write. Sir, my child doesn't speak English. तो हम बोलते हैं यार 2 साल में बच्चों को इंजीनियर थोड़ी बनाना था. What is the job of a school or a teacher to make that child great in terms of society so that child can adapt himself? For parent, I'm saying this line. We in US has already example Facebook, Yahoo, Gmail, Google, or if you study all of them are like 12 years, 3 years, they left their schools, they left their home, or they left their aspiration, and they have something in mind that I want to do this, I want to do that. And in India, let's 18 years, first better you complete your 12th, take 90%, bring 90% marks, 95% marks, take a good college, then you decide what to do. So by that time, everything goes away.
Correct.
I think 12 years, 13 years, 14 years is the right age when child should think of herself or himself. I keep repeating the same thing to my daughter. She's in 7th standard. Beta, now you should start your future planning. I know you are good in public speaking. At least plan for some RJ, for some media, for some journalism. Do whatever you are good at. Don't expect to go for 80, 90s. Don't over try that. Otherwise, what will happen? She will feel a lot of pressure in doing all those things. So coming to that, every child is a star. We just need to find that star abilities in him or her. And I think as a parent, our most focus will be to work on that ability which he or she should have. With social media and time, every career is a career. Today I was just reading about some influencer, and believe me, 18, 90, 20-year influencer are earning 4 crore rupees a year, 5 crore rupees a year. And 2 years, 3 years back, what we talk about, that one of my cousin has got a job in Google. He's getting 15 lakh rupees per month. He's getting a 3 crore rupees package. A YouTuber can earn that money. Compare both. That is also career, and he is celebrity. The YouTuber guy is celebrity. The Google guy can't be a celebrity the future around. So as a parent, we thought otherwise. Every child is a capability, and believe me, as a parent, we know that. It's not about that कि वो ढूंढना पड़ेगा. We know that what our child is good at. We should just focus on that. Coming back to your second part of the query, that how the things are gonna shape up, or how the things are gonna well in terms of schooling, in terms of parents, in terms of real life experience. We have so many experience where we have seen biggest things. I've seen those child which are poor in everything, in sports also, in some, but they're good in arts. Recently, for a 3-year child, recently I'm talking about online, just this year only, we started some programs, online programs for chess, for robotics, arts, art and craft, typically from age group of 3 years to 8 years. Believe me, some kids are there which doesn't speak a single word in the class and stood first in the arts competition, in the coloring competition. So again, we have seen so many kids there which are real life examples, leave my kids, but they have something on that. And आपको हैरानी होगी, like parents को बात बता भी नहीं थी कि their child is so good at this activity. Means they were not for this. They haven't done any program. It was just a born talent which was into the imagination skills. Look, when we are doing a coloring, it's not about coloring, it's about imagining something. Color तो आप भी करते हैं, मैं भी करता हूँ, but maybe some choices are good, some choices are bad. Same way, drawing आप भी करते हैं, मैं भी करता हूँ, but again, some choices are bound to happen from that eternal thing. And I always use the word during my webinars, like Mr. Amir Khan has told in 3 Idiots, that learning is happening at everywhere. Every classroom there's something happening. It doesn't matter whether you read chemistry, whether you read biology, or whether you read in Hindi, English, maths, everything is a learning. So I will go with that word, like every learning is important. Frankly, I'm not saying that academically or books or the numbers are not important. Of course, they are important, because if you want to get into a good college or good thing, but if it doesn't come, so it's okay. We have so many career options. Just look for that, and the word is something like that. I'll cover one more example. I'll take 1 minute more for this to cover this.
Sure.
In our we run a university also. We run a play school with the name of Bachpan. Then we have formal school with the name of Academic Heights. And we run a university also with the name of Rishihood University. So Rishihood is India's first inclusive university where any disabled person can also come, and we have entire facility campus for that. We run a program there, the School of Leadership. The School of Leadership is technically is came up with the idea of training the politician or training the youth of our country to get into the government profile. For example, Modi government is running like almost every second state of the country, but some of the skills still older people are not having. How to run the government? What is the sarpanch? What are the functions of sarpanch? Sarpanch doesn't have PA. So we are
Right.
in those programs where we are actually creating future leaders,
Right.
but on a category platform where they are trained, they are given projects, their exams are also taken, and believe me, from where we are getting the student from the government itself. The BJP government has given us 50 students just to train them so that they can run the government machinery or function. Can you
Right.
believe what would be the approximate salaries? Their salary would be close to 3 lakh rupees per month, 4 lakh rupees per month. Who says
Mhm.
government? And you are into the government.
Right.
So I think this is a career which is beyond imagination.
Yeah.
So there's no rocket science to learn this, all these things. Just agar बच्चे का interest है to get into all these things, something like that. And I'm not saying everybody can become a politician, but still you have a career with you.
Yes.
So that I think from here we can take the next question.
Right, right. No, I think yeah, these were very nice and obviously real examples which you shared. And I'm glad that you are also, when you're addressing, you're also addressing to the parents, because obviously when I'm speaking to many people in the education space, they do find it challenging that, so many times the principals have actually said that we had to convince the parents that your child should be taking XYZ things because we understand the inherent potential and caliber. And the parent might just come back and say that, no, I don't want the child to take. So there are reverse examples where a teacher was saying that the child wants to study, but the father is saying that, no, I've studied a lot and I've slogged a lot. He needs to enjoy, but he's not enjoying. And I don't know what he keeps doing. So yeah, there are these interesting examples, and I think it's so in now, you, since this is interesting that you run from KG to PG, right? And help me, like, in the ecosystem, what do you think should, let's say, government or education as a whole community, right, and parents do collectively to reinforce that, let's make it like more acceptable and respectable for children to have varied choices of the subjects they want to study or what they want to be. Because the minute the minute our respect for certain professions goes down, or we start judging it, or as elders we start expecting that, this is the only criteria, then the child becomes less confident of even something that the person is specialist in, right? So as a society, and as in somebody in the space where you can take decisions, or you can actually form policies and rules, etc., what do you think should be done?
Look, from the government side, they've already brought the NEP. NEP has quite interesting changes which are bound to come. But the thing is that when they are going to come, nobody knows, because launched last year. I don't know why they launched last year, because already COVID was there. So it might take another 1.5, 2 years for states to get it practical and applicable. And of course, every state would be doing some minor changes as per their requirement. So I think from the government side, they have already come up with an education policy. So why I'm saying about education policy, reason being, before this education policy, especially the preschool industry or the Montessori industry, even doesn't have a name.
Hmm.
So what we can say, कि एक अनाथ बच्चा था, our, like, when the schools were closed, there's no mention when the play schools would be closed and when they are going to open. So it's obviously understood when the first is going to open, the preschool are going to open, because government doesn't have any definition. Now we are recognized as ECCE. So at least early childhood care and education is what is defined to us. So now they have put up certain limitations also, and all of them work is good. So from the government side, they have already come up with the policy. I think it's up to the educators like us, how we are going to define this moment of glory. Moment of glory means I'm saying the hybrid model or the digital model. Now we have the resources, acceptability, both from the parent side, both from the school side. Thirdly, we have the curriculum, which is again being hybrid. Fourth, we have the biggest part is that now we have the solution for the challenges which were going to come. For example, in 2009, if I'm gonna ask a बच्चे को 1 घंटा bring it on phone. So the first question was that, sir, you're asking for the screen time. Yes, we're asking for the screen time. So the बच्चा already बहुत TV देखता है. So now the parent have understood that the productive and unproductive time need to be defined separately. So I think as a policy makers is whether not up to the policy, I won't say it as a policy. It's up to the acceptability of the new era which has come. I think for the time to come, everybody would be coming up with the digital model, physical plus digital model, whereby a 5-day school would be there, but on another Saturday, Sundays, we could have special online classes. We are working on those skill-based program. For example, we have our app. As our schools are opening, 5 days a week, school is going, but Saturday, every child is bound to attend a program of yoga, aerobics, dance, art and craft, music, all those skill-based activity where we can polish them. This can relate to your first question also about the bonds. And good part about our program is that they're absolutely free. We are not charging for these hybrid programs. These comes as a part of our regular schooling. And again, our entire job is to focus on the all-round development of the child, which can't be happen at home because you've already missed this 1.5 years. The sad part is that the physical part is missing, the emotional part is missing, that sports part is missing. So we are working on that. Beyond this, we are now getting the parent into the group also. For example, if a yoga class is going on, we have separate program for parents as well as kids, so that both can do this. If we can involve, look, Aditya, if we can involve parents in every cause, now, why I'm saying parents? Because again, parent acceptance, mentality, that's why I'm catering to parents also, because kids are do whatever we want them to do. At least they become teens. Once they become teen, then they are free. But at least by that time, we have our control. So, जो भी हम में inculcate कर देंगे ना, that is going with a lifetime. On your platform, I'll share with one very good example. I went to dentist with my kids. She has a minor cavity problem. So dentist, just as a general thing, they always ask, Beta, how many times did you brush? So she said twice. Oh, very good. But how much time do you brush? Uncle, I brush for 2.5 minutes. How do you know 2.5 minutes? My father puts up an alarm and now we put it on our phone so that 2.5 minutes is ensured. Okay. How many times you miss? So she said, twice in a week at least, maybe on Saturdays, Sundays, or when you're outside. So at that time, I got involved and I said, sir, ho jata hai, once in a while, they're bound to miss. And it's happened with me also, though I'm a dentist. My kids keep on doing it. But remember one thing, even if they miss, you need to tell them every time that you need not to miss and you have to brush 7 days a week. In simple words, I reply, sir, every day if I keep saying her, it's of no use. Same thing if I'm repeating every day. He said, no, you're wrong here. If you keep on saying the same thing, even after 20 years, 30 years, when she'll be studying abroad, she'll remember, yaar, mere papa kehte to sach the, I should brush twice a day. So don't think that the job is done on day one. Keep on reminding them, keep on telling them that what is the right way. So as a parent, our concern should be to go with the right thing and keep telling them. I'm not saying to punish them. I'm not saying them to do bash and bull with them. Just to keep reminding them that these are simple life policies which you have to follow till the time you are there.
Right. And now the last thing, maybe a quick message for the students of Bachpan group, as well as the students on Curious Times, all the children out there. What are your precious words for them on this occasion?
First, we are missing you badly. Just come to school as soon as possible. We love to see you physically because virtually we are meeting every day, but love to see you physically. So as soon as the school opens, come to school. Schools are completely safe. Don't worry. They are completely sanitized. Everything is well mannered, and I hope I'm not saying this for Bachpan schools. I'm saying from all the schools across India because we have seen that schools are now managing all these things. Secondly, don't overburden yourself with what have been done in the past. Your notebooks might be incomplete. Your curriculum might be left behind. You might not be doing so good with numbers. Don't worry. Every student is on the same track. 90 wala bacha has come to 70 and 70 wala has come to 50. So every student is on the same track. But believe me, once you start coming to school, within 1 month, our faculties, our educators can do that kind of what we can say, that gap study can be done, and numbers and everything come back on the same track. So don't worry what has been done in the past. Of course, is what experience, and now we have double resources, so we can do that. Third message on the children, they are like to say, again, realize your inherent talent, and as a student, I'm saying keep working on that. If you're good at singing, just keep trying. If you're good at dancing, just keep trying. Nobody knows how the career is going to shape up. You might have three, four good things. You might get one career, but of your choice. So if you're good in four things, keep doing all those four things. Don't try for the fifth thing. Don't try for the fifth thing. Four, focus on four, from four to three, three to one, and you will find your way out to go that.
Right.
So I think my three words are for everybody, and
Yeah.
I hope it will help out.
Thank you, sir. I think you've given a very practical advice. I mean that from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, like it's well articulated for people to think that okay,
it,
let me just
it,
think
it
of four
totally
good
it
things,
totally depends. It
and
totally
then they
depends on
can
how
sort of arrive at their super core that they are good at, right?
it
Um,
totally depends how the parents, whether the parents are going to like this or not, because every parent is not on the same track. So
yeah.
I just what I experienced, but that's up to me.
So yes, I understand, this is why this conversation is also important because gradually everybody needs to give them their space and respect. So even if, so many principals, again, I'll say because I spoke to them. So they say that even if we go and say that it's okay that, this child is good in this subject, but not good in the other one, is fine. Maybe she can pursue something in this, but the parent would still want the child to pursue and take extra classes, tuitions for something that is like, not their forte also. So it works when, lot more people start telling parent ecosystem that, do not stress over one type of subjects, and, there is a whole world out there, and, children can do so many other things. Yeah. Yeah, so I think thank you so much for your time. And we will stay in touch. We will be sending this message across to people on Curious Times, obviously, and we'll send it across to you for your students. And once again, many thanks for taking out time in the evening and talking to us.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.